Okay, so I knew I would record something prior, right? And after. I thought prior was funny because that's the name of the guy. But that was a miss on the joke. And I'm uncomfortable with my own joke. Here we go. So, so, yeah. Let's start from the beginning. So, I had a little bit of nerves right before. I said a prayer, walked in, was still a little nervous, and then by the time I sat down, I felt like the one thing I could say to myself was I've been here before, and I feel like it was a lot harder last time. There's a lot more emotion and feeling there. Just gonna be real, I don't know why I cry every time they show me their pictures, but it just makes it so real. Like I'm literally getting shown pictures of my siblings who were murdered by someone in the room, and I feel like that just overwhelmed me. Outside of that, I feel like I just was in the moment. I tried everything I could to answer the questions, and I feel like I was trying really hard to just be there. And it was hard because there's a lot going on in your mind. Like there's a lot of thoughts, and it's really easy to get sidetracked. There's a lot of people there, and you're just sitting there trying to focus. So after I talked to Rob, I talked to Pryor, and he immediately pissed me off. He was leading me into questions. He was doing nothing but basically setting me up for a yes or no answer. He already gave the answer in the question and then just gave me a yes or no option and he would basically ask me to agree with him without even thinking about it. Just agree to the statement, correct? And then sometimes he went over and he did the complete opposite. Well, so then this is the 180, and it's like, no, that's not what I didn't get to say anything. So I think that was my irritation and frustration, was I had no chance to talk. So I just let him run through his thing. I was honestly not trying to be disrespectful. I really hope I didn't come off that way to others. I wasn't trying to be rude to him. I know he's just doing his job, but he was frustrating me in the moment, and I just couldn't help. And some of the questions were just too much for me to sit there and agree with and just assume that, that this is what it is. I didn't appreciate the way he was asking me questions, and it didn't leave any room for anything else. It was just leading. So I think one of the things that I did do is I waited for a moment when it felt organic if I wanted to. I said the same thing last time about my mom, that if I would look over at Chad, how I'd feel. And so, let me tell you guys the craziest feeling. I've never felt more, and I really hope that this doesn't sound unchristian, but it's just true. I've never felt more of a pathetic person. So I looked at him, and it was like he is so pathetically scared that he couldn't look at me. And I looked at him and I thought, this guy would piss his pants if I stood up and walked towards him. And almost the anger that I had for him was almost immediately gone. And this sounds crazy, but it's true. Like, I looked at this guy and I'm like, this man would fold. And something about that, it's like someone playing dead if you were fighting. Like, just something about your instinct to be angry or frustrated with that person. So I looked at him, I thought, you know what, it's not even worth it being mad at you. It sounds crazy, but that's what I came to that conclusion in my head when I looked at him. And I was like, this guy is terrified. And there's just nothing for me. There's no justice I could do. I could go punch him in the face, and like, I thought I'd be angry at him. I thought I would be like rageful and like stare him down and like fight right there. I felt like at first I would have been ready to fight this guy. And I just looked at him and I'm like, you know what? You are way too scared to fight me. We're not gonna fight realistically. But the emotion of anger, that charge I thought I was gonna have, wasn't there. So after, I was mostly just concerned with the crying. I didn't know I was gonna cry again. It was the same exact scenario last year that made me cry. There's just something about seeing their faces in front of all those people and knowing that they're gone, and that's what really hit me the most. Outside of that, I don't know. My emotions were kind of all over the place. It went from anxiousness to kind of collected to upset with the questions I was being asked, and then not a pity, but just a wow, this isn't worth it. Like I can't say anything other than that word. There's something about him that's not even worth being angry at this guy. Like it's like there's just nothing there. And I'm not saying this to be rude. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm not trying to talk crap about this man. I literally can't tell you. It just felt like the thought I had was, it's not even worth it. Like this guy's not even worth being upset with. And I thought that was really interesting. I did not expect to feel that way. I did not expect to walk away with that conclusion. So I guess now it's just waiting till it's over, and that's it. I've just been thinking about Tyler and JJ all day. So that's what's been my biggest takeaway from this time and this trip. Yeah, just not what I expected. But I told you guys I would share everything as prior to it, all the way to back to Arizona. I'm sure there's been like 4 videos at this point I'm gonna mash together, but that is how I feel right now. Walking away, the conclusion is it's not worth being angry about, and I just want to be able to finally just mourn the rest of the mourning that needs to be done and turn the season and be ready for the future. And I guess let a lot of things go. So I walked away. I'm surprised myself. I'm a little bit shocked by my reaction, but that's where we're at. I will say this, I'll address it. I had some moments that I probably was a little more rude, and I really wasn't trying to be rude. I really didn't want to come off that way. I was trying to be very calm still. I just didn't like the way he was talking to me in the questioning. It didn't leave me room. It was just very like, lead me to this answer, yes or no. And then there's no middle ground. There's not a room for me to say how I feel. There's not room to tell the truth. It's just, is this accurate? After setting up the entire thing. So it really started to get under my skin after a certain point. I was like, I'm just sick of being led by that. I'm sick of you setting me up for a yes or no answer when it's not that simple. So that was it. But I really hope I didn't come off disrespectful like that. I really hope that it wasn't just this rude person. I wasn't trying to be rude to him. I just got frustrated, and I needed to try to maybe hold my reactions down a little bit. I should have been more in the moment. I should have kept myself calm, and yeah, I guess I apologize for that, because that was not my intention. I really want to represent Tyler and JJ well, not be in my own feelings and emotions. So that'd be it. That's the conclusion there. But I'll wrap up with you guys probably one more time, one more video. When we get home, maybe something like that, and maybe conclude this whole thing. So that's where we at.